It's the champ, Shannon the Cannon, two-time heavyweight champion of the world. And you're watching Sports Icons. Subscribe. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Champ.
Okay, so go check out the previous video if you haven't seen it on the Shelley Finkel statements over Deontay Wilder turning down $120 million, yeah, 120 million, not 100 million, that DAZN offered him for 3 fights against Dominic Breazeale, and of course back-to-back fights with Anthony Joshua. And just based on that video there, you will probably see a very, very clear way of, does Shelley Finkel have Wilder's career at his best interests? Make up your own mind. Now, we're going to get into a couple of statements about Deontay Wilder that I haven't spoken about so far. But of course, firstly, to fight Dominic Breazeale on Showtime and not Fox Sports, in my opinion, that's a bit of an error. Because Sean Porter versus Ugaz, that did 1.6 million viewers. Showtime, Wilder has never, ever, ever hit those figures on Showtime, even when he fought Luis Ortiz. Okay, so there's his first mistake. But of course, him fighting on Showtime, regular Showtime, not pay-per-view, does exactly what I said to you, that he's not a pay-per-view attraction. Don't matter how you look at it, don't matter how you spin it. I said this to you quite a while ago, and he said exactly the same thing in this press conference, which was, I'm doing this for the fans because you guys need to watch me on free-to-air TV rather than pay-per-view, or this kind of thing. In other words, I know I'm not a pay-per-view fighter. I know I'm not. And if we put it on pay-per-view, it's going to be very embarrassing with a very low numbers of 20 people watching it. Okay, so let's get into a couple of his statements that I haven't spoken about. So first of all, Deontay Wilder says, what you don't do is burn bridges. You never know when you may have to cross it again. What he's talking about is he's not going to go in on DAZN or ESPN, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, all that kind of thing. But in the very same sentence, he says he hates Eddie Hearn. Weird that, isn't it? But okay, so he's not going to burn bridges because you may have to cross them again. What, you mean like when you called AJ the slave of the white master, Eddie Hearn? You mean that kind of thing? You shouldn't burn those kind of bridges, yeah? You shouldn't say that Anthony Joshua is milked by the white man also. You shouldn't say that even though, because that's not burning bridges, right? You shouldn't say that UK fans are racist, because that's not burning bridges with UK fans, is it? Do you really forget sometimes what it is that you say and what it is that you do? Is that what you... Really? Okay. So what else did Deontay Wilder say? I don't care what the fans want. I do what I want to do. Okay. So again, check the previous video with Shelley Finkel, where Shelley Finkel said the complete opposite. Okay. He says that Deontay Wilder's doing this on Showtime for the fans, because he cares about the fans. Well, Wilder quite clearly said to you right here, and again, I'll put it in the description box, go have a watch of the interview, I don't care what the fans want. I do what I want. So which one is it? Does he care about the fans or does he not? Shelley, which one is it? Quite clearly, he doesn't care about the fans. That's why he ain't making the fight. I promise my fans, I love my fans. There will be one face, one name, one champion. Of course there will be. So, what else did he say? Why is it that whenever I'm spoken about with Tyson Fury, with Anthony Joshua, or whoever, why do I have to be the one to concede all the time? Right, so let's talk about him conceding all the time. So, first of all, you haven't fought Joshua. There's that one. When it comes to Tyson Fury had to travel to your backyard in America. But when it comes to the rematch, even though the first fight was built on champion versus champion, according to you and your fan base, so therefore, why was it that you was refusing to travel to the UK again for the rematch? Which is one of the reasons why the fight broke down. Why is it that you were refusing to fight on ESPN? It must be Showtime for your home cooking judges. But yet you're the one conceding, right? Okay. So Anthony Joshua's not conceding. Okay, so he's gone up to 40%, was the latest offer, with room to negotiate. So that's not Joshua conceding. Even though he owns 3 of the main 4 belts, you only own 1. Joshua is pay-per-view. You are not. Hence the reason why your fight against Donald Breazeale is not on pay-per-view. He's the money man. You are not. You're being offered $120 million to fight your mandatory Donald Breazeale and then have back-to-back fights with Anthony Joshua. Win, lose or draw. One in America, one in the UK. But yet, you're the one who has to concede. Any fighter on the planet, any heavyweight on the planet would take that offer. Easy work. I will take that fight, no problem. 120 million, where do I sign? No ifs, no buts. But yet, Joshua was a coward for turning down 50 million that you didn't have because BT Sport were offering it, where Joshua can't fight on BT Sport. But he's a coward, but yet you expect people to not call you a coward for turning down $120 million. This is $118 million more than you're worth. Very simple, isn't it? So how are you conceding exactly? I thought it wasn't about the money, it's all about legacy. Because you love your fans, you promise your fans. Again, you're talking out your backside, you really are. What else did he say? Oh yeah, he says, in Brooklyn, they call me the Bronx Bomber. Why? Because he nicknamed himself the Bronx Bomber. Why? Because he got 3rd at the Olympics. Not first, not second, but 3rd in arguably the worst Olympics in history in 2008. Not at super heavyweight like Joshua won, and plenty of others won who are huge heavyweight stars. No, but at heavyweight, not super heavyweight, heavyweight. In other words, he avoided David Price. But either way, he got 3rd place, joint 3rd place. Was it with a Cuban? If I remember rightly, I forget. But either way, in Brooklyn, he's called the Bronx Bomber. Why? Because I love him so much. This is why I want to fight the Barclays Center. It's my home. Blah blah blah. Yet you've never managed to sell it out. Amazing. The biggest fight of your career against Luis Ortiz at the Barclays. And you couldn't sell it out. 21,000 seater. You put 14,000 people in that arena. And most of those were giveaway tickets. Mr. Bronx Bomber. That's how popular you are not. In addition to the fact you're not a pay-per-view fighter. Okay. So one of the other reasons he says that he enjoys being a free agent and whatever, which he's not a free agent. Again, check previous video and you will see in there that Shelley Finkel quite plainly says we are not allowing him to go over to ESPN when he rejected the ESPN offer. We are not allowing him to go. We are not letting our fighter go to them. His words. So therefore, he's not letting our fighter, you Deontay, fight on DAZN. He's not allowing you to take 120 million. So it doesn't matter how you look at it. It's either Wilder's a coward or his management team are not doing what's best for his career. Because when they're asked about him, well, how much could he make? Well, we don't know. It's a guess. Finkel even said at one point, again, check previous video, that he said, well, Wilder's getting more and more popular all the time. So 2, 3, maybe 4 fights down the line, he could get the same money. I mean, really? So why not take the money now? Why have to do 2, 3 or 4 fights to get that money? Just because you want the money coming from Showtime bank account rather than DAZN bank account. Is Shelley Finkel really doing what's best for his career? It's questionable, isn't it? And every time Shelley Finkel opens his mouth, he's talking about Eddie Hearn. But anyway, so he talks about Floyd Mayweather. This is Deontay Wilder. People thought that Floyd was a fool for choosing his own path. What he's referring to is the fact that that Floyd Mayweather left Top Rank to join up with Al Heyman, and of course he made multi-millions. But here's the little sticky point, and it's just a tiny thing, Wilder. No, actually, it's not a tiny thing. It's a massive thing. You are not Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather already had a very good resume. Floyd Mayweather was already talked about in the pound-for-pound status. Floyd Mayweather didn't cherry-pick his entire career. He did at times, but people knew Floyd Mayweather. He was already becoming a household name. You are not. Outside of YouTube, you are not known. You're just not. That's why you've never sold out an arena. That's why your only pay-per-view fight against a Brit who had to travel only did over 300,000 pay-per-view buys when you predicted it would do 2 million. You're not pay-per-view. You're a pay-per-view flop. Hence the reason why the Breazeale fight is not on pay-per-view. You are not Floyd Mayweather. You are not even close to it. In fact, you are not worthy of speaking the name Floyd Mayweather. Those words should not be falling out of your mouth. You are compared to a Tommy Morrison. But even then, Tommy Morrison, I'm being pretty mean to you, really, aren't I? Because Tommy Morrison did step in with some legends in the sport. Not necessarily legends at the time, but the legends now. And none of the fighters that you're for are going to become legends. Maybe Tyson Fury, but you didn't beat him, though, did you? You got a gifted draw. Floyd Mayweather didn't get no gifted draw. Floyd Mayweather beat everyone. Some debatable ones, that's for sure. But Floyd Mayweather was already a rising star. Floyd Mayweather had people around him that put him in the right direction. Floyd Mayweather had a massive fan base. You don't. People bought Floyd Mayweather pay-per-views, whether they loved him, whether they hated him. He knew how to work the market. You don't. As I said, you're not worthy of speaking the name Floyd Mayweather or any legend because you're not even close to it. Then, of course, he says something else. I'm on top of the ESPN most searched boxers. I'm above Joshua. I'm above Fury. These rankings, these ESPN ratings in the top 100, yes, you are the most searched boxer of 2019. We're only 2.5 months into 2019. So not really a great comparison. Why are people talking about you? Because you're piggybacking off of Tyson Fury for quite some time about the rematch. Also, you were piggybacking off of Anthony Joshua. These two guys who are trying to fight you. So people didn't know who you were, would type in your name. Who's this guy? Who's this guy who's making it difficult to make these fights? What, there's another heavyweight champion out there? Who's he? Oh, well, Deontay Wilder. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go onto his social media and I'm going to troll him. All these things count. All the videos slating you count. The whole lot of it counts. When Tyson Fury mentions your name in a tweet, when Eddie Hearn mentions your name in a tweet, sends it out, and loads of people agree with it and retweet it, that all helps you. So it's not because you're popular. It's not because you're famous. It's not because people like you. It's because you're piggybacking off other people's name. Because you're always piggybacking. You're like a fly on crap. That's all it is. It's very simple. But you're not going to allude to that bit, are you? No. It's because I'm popular. People love me. No, they don't. Sorry, mate, but they don't. So what can we do about all this? Very simple. If you're a Deontay Wilder fan, if you're a boxing fan, it's very simple. You've got to let everybody know that you're not happy with the choices that he's making, with him always ducking the top fights. Why is he not taking $120 million to fight Dominic Breazeale and then 2 fights with Anthony Joshua? Because he didn't know how much Joshua was getting. Who cares? How much are you getting? Are you ever going to make this kind of money in your career? No, of course not. You can have multiple fights with Tyson Fury. You won't even come close to that. You've got a guaranteed $4 million against Tyson Fury. But yet, a guaranteed $120 million for 3 fights. You ain't going to get close to that, man. So if you are a boxing fan, if you are a Wilder fan, what you need to do is unsubscribe and stop watching his fanatical channels. I know they're funny. I know they're stupid. I know it's good entertainment. But the reality is, every time you click on one of those videos, every time you comment on one of their videos, you're getting them views. So they keep on doing it. If you go silence on them, suddenly they're going to have to start telling the truth. And that truth is silence. Their silence on this whole thing. Eventually, these guys will snap and go, well, actually, yeah, maybe Wilder does need to. Then they'll get the views. Then they'll carry on with that. And eventually that will get to the ears of Wilder, and Wilder will make the fight because people are unhappy with him. Do you understand? So even if you're a fan of Wilder, that's what you need to do. Make a stand. Say, this is not good enough. We support you. We believe that you could be the best. But what you're doing is wrong. And you're quite clearly ducking Anthony Joshua. You're quite clearly allowing your management team, Shelley Finkel, Al Heyman, to talk you out of this kind of money, and you are denying us the big fights. So, drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.